Welcome back to the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast, NWA 77 part numero uno, which was entitled Bad Company. I'm actually delighted to say that my company isn't bad this evening. It is really, really good. It's
I'm
Miss.
look
Go
I'm looking confused because you said numero uno, but it's numero dos.
Of course, yes, it's DOS. So I did put two fingers up. I mean, that wasn't at you.
I was
Well,
like,
you was
what's going on?
right.
What?
Well, you was good company. Now you're bad company. Fiona's back, everyone, even in fee.
Hello, you all right?
Relieved because we're actually doing this podcast. Up to about 2 hours ago, we wasn't going
We
to.
weren't doing it, I know.
No, and I am not going to be doing this on my own. I do enough podcasts on my own as it is. So if you don't watch it, we don't review it. There's no pressure on you. It's pressure on them fuckers to get the well sorted out. Anyway, we did manage both to watch NWA Power. Just before we start with that, there was some news that I thought we were going to have a lot of discussion about, which turned out to not be the case. Which was,
It
of course,
was dirt sheet drama, basically.
yeah, there was lots of rumors coming out that Vince Russo was going to be, or was, or has been the head writer of the NWA, but apparently that was, well, it certainly has been debunked by the man himself.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was quite excited about that. I was actually going to have so many different theories coming onto this show when I was driving to work this week, thinking about it. I was thinking, right, it makes sense. There's bits and pieces that kind of had elements, not say elements of Russo booking, but there was elements there that I could envisage him doing. Um, but no, not the case.
Not the case. Is it? Oh, the Juggalo. I've forgotten the name of the promotion.
Something like that, isn't it? Isn't it the Insane Clown Posse?
That's the one.
Yeah,
Which I know a lot of the NWA roster have been involved in on and off.
yeah, they have been. Yeah, they have done it quite a bit. Maybe that's where the link come from as well.
I don't know. I don't know.
But no, not the case. So we're going to have to just pass on that conversation for now. Anyway, let's get it started. What a way to start, by the way. This was a tag team encounter. It was Alex Misery, Crazy Steve from the Miserably Faithful against, oh no, there's one more. Sorry, the Misery Lev and Crazy Steve. Excuse my notes. I was scribbling
Yeah,
around.
six-man tag.
Against Slade Fenrir and Luke Curtis. The
In
aforementioned.
a King B match, which
Yes.
I was like, a what?
Yes. Now, for those of you unfamiliar, like myself, with a King B match, this starts off as a six-man tag. The winners of the fall then compete in a triple threat match, and the winner of that match becomes the number one contender to Too Hot to Trot, Alex Taylor, and his junior heavyweight championship.
Do you think they just make names up for stuff?
Yes, I mean, I love to have known how they come up with King B. Let me just face it. There's been a lot of weird matches, isn't there, in the NWO? Coming up at Samhain, we got the six-person casket match
Yeah.
coming up. That's kind of where I thought the Russo element was coming into to play. We had that. There's been lots of matches, hasn't there? When we've gone through Samhain a year or two ago, every match had a form of stipulation, didn't it? There was
Yeah,
like
they did. They did.
but you're right, it was a confused bit. I'll tell you what I do like now, and maybe this is a new thing. We kind of guessed that Fenrir was in now after last week or the week before, where they kind of showcased him, welcomed him to the NWA, even though he's been there quite a bit. Luke Curtis, seemingly he was back, I know, a couple of weeks back as well.
Yeah.
He seems to be there now. So are we going to see an intake of new talent, do you think, to the NWA?
I don't know. It'd be good to see whether they're contracted or not, obviously, is a different story because I do know that some of the regular people that we do see aren't contracted.
No. Hmm.
So it's always good to get a little bit of new blood in, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I feel as if that division kind of needs it because a lot of them now are heading up, aren't they? Like Kerry Morton, uh, now kind of the heavyweight. We'll get into that in a minute. Before his injury, Colby Carino was kind of positioned into the heavyweight division now. So really, for Too Hot for Trot, other than Misery and then one or two others, it was quite not sparse. Is that sparse the right word? Field in a
Yeah,
sense.
no, sparse works.
But anyway, this I love this. I mean, you've got six workers here that can go.
Absolutely.
That's what I loved about. I mean, obviously we can talk about Slade until the cows come home and how great that he is. We know Misery and Lev are great. Crazy Steve, I hadn't seen a lot of, even in the TNA days, because he was a part of the
Yeah.
decay. You didn't really, as we've always said, sometimes when we see the Page sisters as a single where they've been a tag for so long, it was always nice to see them, and you're getting to see that side of Crazy Steve now, where you can actually say, Jesus, for a guy that's vision impaired, I mean, he can really
He
go.
can shift, he can move, and his ring awareness is just outstanding.
Yeah, it really is. It's like a funny enough, not on the same analogy, but there's a dart player that's actually blind, partially blind, and he's like in the top 32 in the world of darts, which considering you're meant to look at a ball and throw
Yeah.
a dart, it's incredible. And Crazy Steve is just such a great worker for somebody that's visually impaired, obviously can move well in the ring. And then on the other side of that, as I said, we got Slade, which we know. Obviously, Damien Fenrir now seems to be there. I don't know, was it their boy? Maybe Billy's
You never
flavor?
know, Billy's latest infatuation.
Yeah, he seemingly likes him, and he's great. Luke Curtis had a great outing in this as well.
He did, he did.
It ultimately boiled down to the fact that obviously Jim Mitchell was at ringside, of course. It's just it didn't work out though. Are now those face are these miserably faithful? Are those faces now in this?
It's a hard one to call, really, I think.
Because like
The
3 weeks ago,
crowd are definitely with them.
yeah, well, 3 weeks ago they're firing a fireball in Max the Impaler's face. That's not a
Yeah.
face move, right? And
No, not at all. Not at
and,
all.
and now like they're being cheered against Slade, Fenrir, and Curtis. But yeah, I love this match. I always Lev is another one. Someone that's I think now ever improving in that. Again, we didn't see too much. He was one of those guys that you would see 6 weeks later, you'd see him again, and then he's part of a group now. And he's on quite more regularly. And I just feel like with the more that we see of him, the more that you get to see how good he actually is.
Yeah, I was loving his blue hair this show.
Nothing to do with the fact that was it blue or purple?
Now it's purple. It just looks blue, but
It
it's
looks blue.
definitely
Well,
purple. And
definitely
I've got my
purple.
shitty camera on tonight, so you can't really see it properly.
There we go. Well, you got hair though. See,
I
that's
have hair.
you go. You go. I
It's
don't
more than
have
you've
that.
got.
Yes. Yeah. Well, that's I look like an egg and you don't. That's that's pretty good. Let's get back to the match though. Look, eventually, the Slade Slam gets the win for Slade's team, but it doesn't end the match. But at that point, the match does take a break, and now we get to hear about cousin LJ.
Yeah, interesting. Cousin LJ, I had lots of theories about that.
Carson Drake, by the way, is
Linda on the phone, say hi to Uncle Vince. I'm like, Carson, what are you playing at? But cousin LJ, that's an interesting one.
yes, I did get those analogies that you were mentioning. Vince and Linda was waiting for a Stephanie or a Paul to be brought into the mix, but they
What's your
didn't.
thoughts on LJ though? I'm intrigued.
Cousin LJ, I don't know. Is that the guy though that when we saw the Samhain poster for the casket match?
Uh-huh.
Wasn't it not Drake, Aaron,
Oh,
and
there was
some?
someone else in that, wasn't there?
And is that? I'm guessing that's cousin LJ because he's going to get a spot next week, which we're going to talk about in a second. We're in a bit. We're going to talk about something that's happening next week, and oh no, sorry, it was before that. My apologies. Austin Idol announced the Battle Royal or whatever it is for next week.
Oh, what was it called
The
again?
Heartthrob Invitational, the
Yeah.
Universal Heartthrob Invitational, and the winner of that match gets a shot at the National Heavyweight Championship, if I'm right. Now, cousin LJ is going to be in that. Carson Drake basically took a call. I think he was getting a bit berated near the end of it, but it was the fact that he can bring this guy in, he'll get an opportunity, but that's all he can do. So we will see cousin LJ make his debut in NWA next week. He did say a word here. Uncle Vince was the word that he used
I
in
am not going to publicly air my theory on that one, but I'll tell you afterwards.
that. Well, I get the scoop, everybody. You don't. That's the benefit of having high people in high places. Anyway, moving on back to the match. Again, we've gone from this great triple threat, great six-person tag or six-man tag to a triple threat match that was just as good, even maybe even better than each.
Yeah, I enjoyed this. I really enjoyed this.
we mentioned how good each three of them are in as a tag team or a singly, and they got a chance to show this was Fenrir, Curtis, and of course Slade. I kind of run out of superlatives for this in the end. It was just
I'm
incredible.
just blown away by the big double German suplex by Slade on the other two.
Yeah, I would say that I was surprised that Slade could bring that out, but Slade is.
Yeah, I know where you're coming from for that.
My concern with Slade is he isn't going to be around long enough
You'll
in the
get snapped up.
NWA. That is in the NWA. I feel that like Slade will be signed somewhere. Maybe not in, maybe to TNA or something like that. Because I feel as if you put Slade in TNA, and even if you just put him in that X division to begin with, you reel off people that are in that division. Leon Slater for one, Trey Miguel, Zachary Wentz. Jesus. Then you're going to get again. I don't want to because I don't want Slade to leave, but it's one of those that I feel as if they need to capitalize and make the most out of Slade while they've got him.
Yeah,
In my opinion, that's just me. Anyway, you can do. Anyone can agree or disagree with that, but I just feel that Slade is destined for somewhere else. Sorry, Billy. I know you didn't want to hear that, and well, actually, I'm not sorry. I'm just telling you the truth. Um, yeah, I feel that's the way, but he didn't end up winning this match in the end.
he didn't. Which
Oh.
part of it caught me off guard, and the other part was like, okay, he's not won this. He's destined for bigger belts.
Yeah, and that's no disrespect to Too Hot to Trot, who apparently, according to Danny Deals, had beaten Danny Hodges' reign of about 4 million days as champion, which he
Okay.
hadn't. He hadn't. It was nowhere near. I mean, Alex Taylor's had it for about 4 or 500, and Danny Hodge had it for about 4 or 5,000. I think that so he's slightly the way, slightly out of it, but no,
What
he did.
what
Well,
I want to say about this match though, there was a really, really nice play and play shot at one point on this.
there was.
And I really like that because I actually missed it when it happened the first time.
Mhm.
I'd actually kind of like to see a little bit more of that.
Yeah, I would. I do like there's little bits and pieces that they're doing on the NWA that's really working, and that is certainly we get to see more little bits like that. We mentioned it to who did we interview? Jay from the Alliance blog. That'll be out next
Yeah,
week. And Kratos, which is out tomorrow. For those of you that are wondering where that interview is, it's tomorrow. I had to do some slight editing on that one. But yeah, he they're doing little bits and pieces like that again, which makes so much. It makes it feel big,
yeah,
like a real. I don't mean this horribly when I say this to the end of it, like a real promotion. What you would normally see on the TV, right?
yeah,
We're seeing it with the NWA, um, and it was a huge power bomb from Fenrir
it
that
was.
done in this, a big one. And but he seems to be the golden boy at the minute, and he's going to get a shot at Too Hot to Trot, probably at Samhain.
That's
I
going to be an interesting match.
I'm gonna like that. I really am gonna like that. I feel that's gonna be a really good match between
Yeah.
those two.
But
I
again, it'll be interesting to see whether the rest of the Southern Six come into play in this.
very true. I feel as if they have to if he's gonna. I don't mean this horribly to AT because I like AT. I think he's another one he's really come out of the not come out of the Southern Six, but he's really come into his own.
I feel
In
like he's very underrated. Doesn't
without a
get the
doubt.
credit he deserves, I think.
He is, Silas gets a lot of plaudits, rightfully so. Kerry Morton gets thought of in high regard, maybe not necessarily in a booking sense, but in general. AT, I always thought was going to be the joke of the pack.
Yeah.
You always get that one, didn't you? But he's now,
He's kind
I
of
think
come into his own, really.
he really is, and I like that. I really like seeing that of him, and I'm really looking forward to that match. I'm hoping it's at Samhain, which we'll see at Christmas time. I'll be looking forward to watching it if that is the case. Anyway, but he is number one contender now, so that
Yeah.
match will happen eventually. We had a little bit of a promo from Kerry Morton ahead of his match against Hammerstone. Basically, he's inevitable. He's going to win. Usual shtick. But it was the next bit that I wanted to get. Now we go back to the Page household drums again. I think they need like Jerry. Was it like Jeremy Kyle is what they need there, don't they?
Or a Jerry Springer type
Oh,
show. Obviously,
yeah.
Jerry, rest in peace. You were a
Yes.
legend. But yeah, something like that would be entertaining. I'm surprised
And
they've not done that actually.
give it time. Uh, give it time. But having said that, Joe Garley was the man in the middle, really. On the, I do like that polo shirt, by the way. Is
Do
that on
you?
the
I'm
NWA
not
shirt?
a
Yeah.
polo shirt fan.
Oh, I like that one. I like that one that they got. You got
I
to be a
don't
polo
know.
shirt.
Something about polo shirts just don't work for me.
I wear a polo shirt every day for work. So
Oh, no luck.
not no, not if you don't like polo shirts. But nevertheless, again, we they're bringing up this whole Kylie and Hunter, and
But nothing's going on.
apparently, apparently, I must say, if I'm Tommy Henry in this, and my daughter's effectively potentially cheating on my other daughter's boyfriend, I'd be fuming by this. You
I
see,
wouldn't be getting involved.
no, it's
I'd just be sitting on the sidelines. I'm sorry, but you've seen the two of them fight.
yeah.
That's the only time I'd be stepping in would be to separate them. Let them sort it out. They're grown women.
But yeah, nevertheless, as you right, because Kenzie wanted Kylie to openly deny it. They both did. I'm still not convinced
Well,
by it.
particularly when Hunter ends the interview going there, is that what you wanted to hear?
Yeah, that's kind of saying, well,
Little bit suspect, little red flags waving about in the air.
but as we know, the Page sisters are tagging up at Samhain. So mm, I think perhaps, I don't know now, because I said to you last week that I feel as if we're seeing it from a Kenzie point of view. She's cracking up, the pressure, Markova, everything else. Did they end up kicking Hunter to the curb in this?
Potentially.
Maybe something happens. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just trying to think because we know the Page sisters are team. Maybe it's a reluctant team. I don't know. We won't know until later on down the line, which we will get to, I suppose, at some point. But it could be that they're going to be a reluctant team. They're doing it for the dad, or it could be that they kick Hunter to the curb and that's the end.
Or Hunter and Kylie could run off into the sunset and Kenzie's engagement is over.
Well, that's probably the case. But how do we get to the fact that they're tag teaming up at Samhain?
I don't know.
Knowing NWA, they'll do that thing where all three of them are together. What's that? I mean, come on, it's 2025, right? How many people, what is it like in Dubai or Saudi Arabia when a guy can have six wives or
I
something along
don't
those
know.
lines?
I think there's certain cultures and religions where that's not frowned upon.
There you go. Maybe it's not going to be frowned upon in the NWA. Maybe Hunter's going to be able to have both, marry both sisters. Who knows?
Polygamy for the win.
Yeah, exactly that. But we now move on. Now, Kerry Morton is now the man of a thousand nicknames.
Mr.
Um,
Roku.
he's now Mr. Roku. Well, if you're Mr. Roku, Kerry, can you get Fiona's VPN to work?
That would be helpful. That would
That
be
would be
cheers,
really
Kerry.
fucking helpful. We wouldn't boo you if you could do that.
Well,
Um,
not so much.
but yeah, let's be fair. Yeah, not so much. We wouldn't boo you too much, Kerry. And he had a daunting task this week with Hammer. This got. I tell you what, I love this. It was long match that I felt as if it was going to be long, and I was hoping they would give it the time, and they did,
Yeah.
which was great. This was, I think, Kerry's not what's the word? Not I wouldn't say coming out moment, but you know what I mean, like breakout moment into the
Yeah,
the heavyweight
very
division,
much
right?
so. And you got to give props to Joe and Danny for kind of emphasizing that as well.
Yeah, yeah, they
And just
did.
about how aggressive Kerry had become and like he was a changed human being because I was expecting the size difference to be
Hmm?
quite significant and it really wasn't.
No, the
They're
only
both
thing.
similar height, and we've spoken
Yeah,
about Kerry in the last couple of weeks about how he's bulked up a little bit as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
So it wasn't like a David and Goliath, which
No,
I thought it might have been.
no. I mean, when anyone comes up against Hammerstone, you're always going to lose out in the physique battle, aren't you? There's no doubt about that. The one thing that I think Kerry needs to stop doing to take him seriously is fucking screaming like a girl. How many times
Just
in
put into
that
the corner.
it's
There's
just
no, it's such an indie thing though.
it
Like
yeah, I hear it. Yeah, and Mark
it's
True.
I hear it all the time. It
Mm.
shows such an indie thing.
I don't like it. I didn't like. That's
And
the
it's
only.
funny at family shows. Like at family shows when there's loads of kids, the kids think it's hilarious
Yeah,
they pop for it, which is fine. But I hear you and I get where you're coming from. If you want to be taken seriously,
yeah.
then I get it.
I wouldn't mind so much, but obviously the screams are very girlish as well. And if you're trying to be, you're in the heavyweight division now, Kerry. This isn't light heavyweight or junior heavyweight Kerry Morton against the Hammerstone. This is a
This
Kerry.
is the big time. This is the
Yeah.
yeah.
You want to be in that world title picture. You can't be shitting yourself every time someone hits you with a big or tries to play up. Doesn't work. But for the want of this match, though, I mean, other than that, I have zero complaints about this.
Mm-mm, none
I thought
whatsoever.
this was great. There was some big ass moves from both people, from both men pulled out
Well,
some big.
that's it. I was like, Kerry's going to get squashed here.
Mm, yeah,
And he held his own.
did.
Like it wasn't as one-sided as I thought it might have been.
No, it was far from it. It was this was a good half and half battle. This, I mean,
Yeah,
Kerry did hit the kiss it goodbye at
he
one point.
did.
That got a real deep two on that big superplex as well. But eventually, the Nightmare Pendulum from that move is fucking Jesus. That is do you know what that
Insane.
reminds me of? Like, is when you're on a roller coaster and you go up and and you fly down the bot. That's how I envisioned it. As someone's gonna have to tell me how that move actually feels. I'm not gonna gather it hurts, obviously, but it just feels like you're on this roller coaster, you're going up, and then you just get thrown back down, and it just, or that one that takes you right up and then just drops you and
Oh, the
stops you.
drop zone, the drop
Yeah,
towers.
yeah, that's how I
It's the
envisage.
one, that's the one like fun fair ride I won't go on.
In case it doesn't stop.
I'll go on any roller coaster. I will not go on a drop zone tower.
I think the doctor won't allow me to go on any roller coaster anymore. But I used to love roller coasters. I have been on a Nightmare Drop before. Yeah, not in America, but over here in the UK. That's how I feel. That's what you should say. That could be one of your questions. When we interviewing a wrestler next week, we'll get into it. But your question could be if your move, if you had to describe your finishing move using a theme park ride, what would it be?
Okay.
I mean, we've had a lot worse than that,
We've
but
also had a lot better, thank you
oh,
very
we've
much.
had some gold. Don't get me wrong, we've had some
I
cracking questions from you.
will take note of that for future reference.
Could be one to use. But nevertheless, a big win from Hammerstone.
Yeah,
This don't know
but
what the future holds for him.
no, I was going to say on this, what happened? He called for the Southern Six and none of them came out.
He did. Well, when they first come out, Phil Billy was wearing the same pants as he wore last week. I know that obviously this is taped in one night, but you would feel as if you would change your clothing, right? But he did. You're right. Kerry did call for the Southern Six, and they weren't appearing, which takes me back. And maybe this is a good thing what the NWA were doing here, because if you remember during the Jax Dane, there was a lot of dissension within the Southern Six, and I just wonder whether they're bringing that back up now.
I don't know, considering the pre-match promo, Kerry was basically like, well, yeah, I meddled in Silas and Hammerstone's match because we are the Southern Six and that's what
Mm.
we do. We have each other's backs.
Yeah.
And then for them not to come out for him, I was like, okay, this is going somewhere.
Yeah, maybe. I'm thinking weird. I think you're right. Maybe they're going to end up. I don't know if they go their separate ways or not. One question I know you probably won't know, but this is a question for any NWA wrestlers that watch, and I know you do watch because we get the comments. Can someone tell me what the theme song is to the Southern Six? I'd love to know. I've downloaded Mims's, and that was on the car this morning. I love that song. Downstain do it. I didn't know that until I put it in the YouTube. And yeah, I'd love to know. I like it. It's a bit of grungy sort of weird stuff. And anyway, I'd like to know. And if it is available, I'd like to be able to download it. So if any NWA wrestlers that are watching know that theme song, can you put it in the comments? Can you send me a DM? Whatever. And if Kerry Morton, Silas Mason on AET, if you can tell me, that would be much appreciated. But anyway, big win for Hammerstone. Don't know what the future holds. Wasn't at Samhain, so don't know
And
what.
it's hard. He could just be one of these guys who's just come in for a couple and disappears into the abyss, and we never see him again, which would be a shame.
It would be. I mean, he was TNA, wasn't he? And he does. I mean, Jesus, if Vince McMahon was in WWE, he'd probably be having orgasms over him because you know what Vince is like for a big guy.
Yeah.
He would be very much all over him. I'm surprised that nobody else has really since he's left TNA. He's been away from TNA for a while. I'm surprised that no other promotion has come in, but the rosters are stacked at the moment in every company right now.
Yeah,
Rosters are
well and truly.
stacked, but a big win for Hammerstone. The Broad Walk this week. Last week we had Mondo.
We did indeed.
This week, well, we start with Idol and Markova. I think Idol's got some doubts about Markova beating Kenzie Page here. That's how
Mm,
it sounded
that's
like.
controversial.
Well, he's right. I mean, Markova's had 4 million attempts. She's lost 3,999,999.
This is
She's gonna get
true.
the she's gonna get the 4 million shot this couple of weeks time. So I think he had every right to doubt her in a sense, but he was making sure she was ready. I can't get Markova's voice out. The voice doesn't depict the person.
So if you heard the voice in a like a blind audio and then you saw the
The person
person, you
I
wouldn't put two and two
wouldn't
together.
tell. No,
I
that's
get
not.
that with people sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, and that's not a bad thing at all. It's just if I was watching, as you said, if I was watching it blind, I took the mask off. I would not have thought that would have been the person that was speaking to. But nevertheless, look, she's basically, she's not gonna let things happen again. She's gonna win the championship. She's ready. She's gonna do it this time. We will see. That's when I thought the bit was gonna end. But no, no.
Busted!
Yeah, I think well, she's definitely looked a bit embarrassed. T Tiffany Nieves and Vince, I think his name's Vince, is it Vince, isn't it? It is. Vic,
Vic,
Vic, sorry, Vic. LJ, getting cousin LJ confused. Vic walked up on us, or on them, shall we say. Tiffany looking a bit embarrassed, wanting to get out the way.
dressed to the nines, I might add.
Oh, they were definitely on a date. There was no doubt about it. But she did say that she would explain things. If you remember back to Bit Crush, she come out and said, she'll explain everything to Vic.
And
So
Vic did say to her that with his help he would get her to the top.
yes, she did.
So
He did.
maybe they were having a business dinner.
Maybe, quite possibly. Yeah, she could. There
But
could
they're
have been.
walking hand in hand, and I'm sorry, but I don't walk hand in hand with my business partners.
Neither do I. No, I wouldn't want to either. That would probably get a quite a weird look walking down the boardwalk with two men hand in hand. Well, it wouldn't be quite weird actually. It is each to their own. It is 2025 and all that. But yeah, it'd
It
be
was a
quite.
very awkward encounter.
Yes, I put that down actually. I put weird. But yes, I agree. It's very much a awkward-ish encounter for Tiffany and so that what they left quite quickly, shall we say? Well, Tiffany left quite quickly anyway. Main event. It's our boys. Well, at least one of the boys. No, our boys.
And the
Sorry.
most punchable face in wrestling.
It was the Holy Grail, EC3 Pretty Boy Smooth, the Man Mountain, as you like to call him, the Urban
That's
Playboy.
because he is.
He is, and he's also the Urban Playboy, right? That's where he goes by.
I forget
Against,
about that sometimes.
yes, yeah. Well, he won't let you forget about it because if you make a mistake, he's quick enough to come on and tell us. That, especially getting it finished, the fact that I still don't know his moves. But as you said, the most punchable face. I think the two most punchable faces in wrestling.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far for Aaron.
Well, I
I'm
don't know.
presuming that's who you're referring to, because
Yes,
obviously it's not
absolutely.
going to be EC3 or Pretty
No,
Boys. And it's
no.
not going to be CeeLo because we love CeeLo because he's an MVP. So
He is, and I wouldn't have the bollocks to say that to play the urban playboy either. So, yes, I definitely think well, I think they're two of the most punchable faces in wrestling. Certainly, Carson fucking Drake is with that silly shuffle. Or whatever. I was hoping Aaron was going to do it. If there was,
Aaron came out looking like an old school strongman with that singlet on.
yeah, that was an interesting choice. They was all wearing quite same colours, the majority of
Yeah,
us, wasn't it? There was like a pinky, purpley.
pink team and a purple team pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was hoping Aaron was going to do the kind of thing that he did with Sandow when he was Mizdow, when he was mimicking Miz. I was kind of hoping he was going to do the same for old Bartholomew Drake. over here. I thought I was going to see Cousin LJ at the end of this. Initially, when because obviously the start of it earlier on, um, they did. I don't know with the NWA here though, because they were hyping up. This is Aaron's first match, and I was like, did you forget that he had a mint julep, or did that not count?
Yeah. I mean, they
Uh,
did at points hark back to his tag run with who did, oh my God, I'm having a mental block because he did have a tag run in NWA a long time ago with Kratos.
Kratos, yeah, yeah, yeah. We
Yeah.
spoke to Kratos about it, didn't we?
Yeah.
Again, see that tomorrow for anyone that's interested. Yes, you're right. He did. They did. They had a tag run together. They were tag champs, right? Am I right in thinking
Yep.
that? Yeah, he did. So it was quite a while. Anyway, on there. Every time I see Smooth, I seem to think he gets more powerful, or at least he does something more powerful every time he gets in that ring. I don't know if that's just me or um, just crazy. He does so much great. He's still money for me. He's still, the one guy that I
Can't
think
believe he's not actually signed.
that is a bit of a shock actually. He's not.
Like, well, as far as I know, he's not signed. I don't think he's not, is he? Is he signed? No, he's never been one of the names that have said like signed an NWA contract.
Well, he'll be watching this, so I'm sure he'll
But yeah,
he'll
I
inform.
am very surprised. If he's not signed, I am surprised that he's not signed.
It is a bit of a surprise. Yeah, I would have thought that, I keep saying that he's money. That is, he is, and he should be signed to NW. I think that that's the guy that eventually should be in that picture of the Silas Masons, the Latimers, and that's where hopefully the Urban Playboy will end up. Don't know yet though, but we'll see. They did try and get the MVP ejected from ringside though in this. They,
Ultimately successful, but not initially.
not initially, no. They did try to say that they done an open hand slap, wasn't it, or something along the lines, and he.
Carson, dirty tactics, man. He wasn't even near him.
I know, Carson Drake. She's although he is the most successful man on the NWA territory division, though, with so many, he's like the Mercedes Monet of the NWA territories. Every fucking
Like, what are
territory he
we
has
at?
is.
Mercedes 40 belts or something like that
She's
now?
12 now. She's now calling herself Ultimo, I think, Mercedes or something along those lines.
Fair
Um,
enough.
Everywhere there's an NWA territory, Carson Drake's a champion. That's kind of where we're going. Could he? I mean, yeah, has he got a shot at Exodus Pro coming up? I don't know. Is that going to happen at Journey Free? We'll find out December 6th. I think it's the date. I hope it's the date. I hated the next bit, not for many reasons. They went to a break at this point,
I
and
wish, I know. I hate the breaks. I hate the breaks. And I was really enjoying this match because of all the shenanigans in it. There was
it,
so much going on. It just
mm,
kills the momentum for me.
it does, and I hated it even more because they played the Colby package.
Yep.
And you saw him at the end with the neck brace on, and it was just not a good sight to see. We don't know. I saw a picture of him recently without one, so I don't know if it's been removed since or what's going on, but that was just a gut wrencher to see that. I
Yeah.
hated it. I hated every second. I don't like the breaks in NWA anyway, but that one just, oh man, it was.
On that note, his benefit shows up on IWTV if anybody's got a subscription and wants to watch it. I think that took place at either the weekend there or the weekend before. I think it actually was just this weekend. I think it might have been Saturday potentially, but it's up on IWTV if anyone wants to watch the benefit show for Kobe.
Make sure that you do if you've got that opportunity to. But yeah, that was gut wrenching. I hate that. Anyway, then we go from the kind of gut wrench into the intensity of Mondo, who next
Of
week.
gut checks.
Well, yeah, gut wrench to gut check. It's gut check time next week for Mims, and that championship will be on the line. Mondo and Mims next week for the TV championship, which should be an interesting contest. I'm looking forward to that next week. That's a clash of the big brutes. They're not even big though, in size, are they? Like height wise, they're kind of quite smaller, but they're just
Small
frigid,
and stocky
small and stocky.
and solid.
Well, in Mondo's case, I think more than that, he's like Barrel, isn't he? Like in terms of the way that he,
Bridges. Brick
yeah,
shit houses. That's the
brick
kind of words that come to mind.
Yeah, absolute brick shithouses. We get back into this match, and the Holy Grail were in control for a moment, but then EC3 takes about 5 or 6 minutes of a beating in this. And not normally the type, but EC3 is normally the one on the outside waiting for the hot tag.
Yep.
But the hot tag this time was from the Urban Playboy.
Yep. And during this is the point of the outside where Pastor Cielo does actually get ejected from ringside.
He does.
It was a belter though, grabbing
Ah,
Carson's legs. He got him an absolute beauty. I was like, yes, smash that face.
I love that. I really did like that. It needed it. He needs it, Carson. It's a shame that this was filmed like after the show with Exodus because they could have brought out the trophy that that they have. But we talk about cheating, and we always, when we say about Aaron, we're always about the loaded glove.
You gotta be wary of that man and that glove.
And eventually, the loaded glove comes into play, and poor Smooth
Yeah,
gets.
I was sad to see him on the receiving end of that one.
He got dropped like a sack of spuds by whatever's in that glove, and it ultimately gave the victory to Aaron and Carson Drake as Power comes to an end this week. Yeah, that's not the best way to win. We would have shenanigans always. Always follow CBD and Aaron wherever they go. Didn't follow them in Exodus though, which we just mentioned. But yeah, again, these 2 weeks, I said this to you before we started, these 2 weeks of NWA, I don't know if it was just because it was a 77th anniversary or whatnot, but
Big show vibes. Just it almost feels like it's gone up a gear.
yeah, it's like they're starting back at the top again of great matches, and they all were brilliant this week. Again, the last 2 weeks, this week and last week, have been great. But next week's be number three. We'll get into that obviously next week. But of course, the uh, well, what was your shows like last week? What is going on in your world this weekend?
Last week was phenomenal. We had an incredible Maximum Impact show in Greenock on
Right.
Friday. We had our annual King of Cruise, six-man King of Cruisers match, which was won by Sam Taylor this year. He defeated Craig Anthony, Martin Kirby, Shay Monet, and Danny Clark, which was amazing. Daz Clark retained his PBW World Championship against Rampage Brown. So it was
Mhm.
great to have him back up. And I just like to point out it actually is a world championship now. Daz has defended that in Scotland, in England, in Bolivia, in Thailand, and basically he's covered 7 countries. So it is officially a world championship now, which is pretty friggin' cool for me to
Yeah.
be able to announce that as opposed to the PBW championship. It is now the world championship. So he won that. Saturday in East Kilbride, we had over 400 in on Friday
Okay.
night, which was great. It's a beautiful, beautiful venue, the Town Hall in Greenock. Saturday, British Championship Wrestling in my hometown was another banger. I think we had about the 350 mark in for that. Another brilliant show. The return of Wolfgang, back to his home. So good times.
Was that the show that you threw a table at someone?
He threw a table at BT Gun. The merch part of the room got destroyed. He literally picked up the table as BT was like starting to slide down the wall and just launched the table at BT Gun.
I
Um,
saw this on Instagram. I thought it was, oh, it's absolutely priceless. I popped big time when I saw that.
it was a really kind of cool moment for me because Wolfgang's not been around since I've been MCing, so I've never
Yeah.
got to do an entrance for him. So it was really, really cool for me to be able to do that and sitting ringside because at BCW, my table is literally right beside the ring. So I am as close to the action as you possibly can get because there's nowhere else for me to go. So I have to be right at the ring post. And it was like stepping back in time, watching
Yeah.
BT and Wolfgang fight each other and knock 7-6 shit out of each other. It was really, really cool. Yeah, really enjoyed it. It was a good night. The crowd were great. Yeah, Fabulous, fabulous. So such a good weekend. And then Sunday, I got a last minute call up on Sunday to go to Iron Girders Pro Wrestling and
Lovely.
MC their show down at Iron Girders Gym. So that was cool. Some people I haven't seen for a long time. And yeah, it was good.
Excellent. And this week, what's going on?
I have a
Okay.
weekend
You
off.
have a weekend off. Lucky,
I
lucky.
don't have next weekend off.
What?
I'm gonna just, yeah, I'm actually. I was going to say it's a good thing. I'm not entirely sure if it is a good thing having a weekend off
Mm.
for reasons I'm not going to go into,
Yep.
but
Hmm.
I have a weekend off. I'm going to go and watch some hockey and just try and get some fresh air this weekend.
Good idea. Good idea. And we have to thank a few companies this weekend. We had a great weekend of wrestling ourselves. Hitting the Turnbuckle was out on the road. We saw some very interesting
You were
youngsters.
doing a little bit of talent scouting, were you not?
We was, yeah, and we may be seeing a few of them in other promotions, not Ignite in the future. Yeah, there was some look, three great shows, two great shows, three great shows over the last week and a half. WrestleForce to begin with. Then we went to my good friend Taylor James at RCWA. He won the championship this week of Kelly Six, last week of Kelly Six. Kelly Six trying to make it into Rev Pro, 60 odd days and counting. Did say at the end of that show that uh, if the December show, the 12 Bumps of Christmas on the 20th of December, was going to be his last, he called out any one of the British UK scene, and it was answered with a distorted voice eventually. But the answer and the challenge for Kelly Six is none other than Michael Oku. Has accepted Kelly Six's challenge for 12 Bumps of Christmas. And then on Sunday, we went to our first DKW show, the Dropkicks Academy, which was lots of fun. And as I say, the younger talent that we've seen, or I've certainly seen over the last few days, has been incredible. Some of those names you would have seen me being posted out that's coming on the show. Archie Payne or AJ the Juice Payne and Regan Blade, two of the names that you'll also be seeing very soon in other companies as well as the companies that we've just spoken about. We want to say a big shout out to Kian Cameron, and we're glad that you're okay after a very scary incident on Saturday. He had a match, and moves go wrong, right? Moves go wrong all the time in wrestling, and it is
Accidents happen, yeah.
really scary moment. Got dropped. He landed on his head going down so onto his neck. Had to evacuate the building for a bit of time, but he's okay. He was just a stinger, nothing more, nothing less. But he's fine and he's back on. So great news for Kian. Even come out and done the in rings after that. He just wouldn't have thought of it. But yeah, really good week, good couple of weekends of wrestling. Big thanks to WrestleForce, RCWA, and DKW for having us. Right, and this leads me to say coming up next or coming up soon on Hitting the Turnbuckle, of course, I've just mentioned we're doing the Trailblazers Independent Showcase where we're going to be doing some of these names and some more names to be announced on that. But next week, cool, we're going to have another late one fee next week on the show because we're going to be interviewing the Exodus Pro Wrestling champion, the NWA Midwest. Jeez, I fucking gotta get that right. NWA Midwest champion Dante Casanova. There's an idea for a question right there. You got to get a question ready for next week.
Oh, I
Uh,
will, don't worry. It'll be a good one.
I'm sure it will be. We're going to probably one of the greatest entrance gears in wrestling.
Oh, the guy just looks just, yeah. We spoke about this before. Just, yeah.
Spoke about in the Exodus review.
If you haven't checked out Dante Casanova, go and check him out.
The word $1 million springs to mind because he fucking looks like $1 million. That's for sure. I can't say who, but we also got coming up on the show a recently released WWE wrestler. Say recently released, soon to be released WWE, hence why I can't name the person. But he'll be coming up alongside myself, David Bartholomew, and Will Scar. We'll be interviewing him. Ignite Wrestling, 3 weeks away. I get back off holiday straight to Ignite Wrestling for Curtain Call 4. lots of stuff going down there. We see me and CJ Carter will be previewing that very, very soon as well. So, and big thanks to the near 30,000 of you sad bastards that were actually viewing our shows over the last few weeks on the podcast. I've been posting these little reels of some shows that I've been to, some of the matches and stuff like that, and add that on top of Zaya Brookside and everything else. I've seen like there's like nearly 30,000 people have watched some point of some part of our show. Uh,
Thank you. It's appreciated. And
it
we'll
is a
have
big
another interview. We're going to put it out tomorrow with Kratos.
yes. Those you NWA fans, Kratos joined us last week. That's going to be out tomorrow, so that's going to be really good. Obviously, with TNA taking a break until the middle of November, I get to have a Fridays free, so I thought put it out then. Great, he's a great guy. Kratos was a great
That was
chat.
such a good chat. It was good
Such
to
a
find
humble guy.
out.
Really humble guy, Kratos. But and then of course next week after that, Jay from the Alliance blog, another big NWA fan, joined us. We had a great chat with him. Hopefully, we'll get him on to do a
He's
power.
so knowledgeable, man. So
Oh,
he's like a little
jeez.
NWA encyclopedia. It's incredible.
He was doing podcasts before podcasts existed.
Yeah.
That is the type of guy. I'd like him to come and do a power review with us one day. That'd be
Oh,
good.
I'm sure he would if we asked him.
Oh, I will ask him. I think he'll be happy. But anyway, look, assuming you get to see next week's show, are we gonna do this again next week?
We shall.
In that case, everybody, until next week, buckle down, stay safe, and goodbye.